Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. Today's project is this tin, decorating it with the Arrange a Wreath stamp set, which is in the annual catalogue on page 127. This is a fabulous set because it can be used for so many occasions. This one is for a Valentine's Day thing, or it could be for an anniversary. That's for autumn, and then you've even got one for Easter. Because the new mini catalogue and the annual catalogue overlaps by quite a long way, I'm trying to combine something from the autumn catalogue with the annual catalogue. Now these are round tins which are available from the August to December mini, and you'll find it on page 68. There are 4 in a box. The Arrange a Wreath stamp set, which is bundled with the wreath dies. There are dies to go with the hearts, the flowers, and the eggs and the pears, and also leaves as well, and a partridge. I'm also going to be using the stitched circle dies to create a base to glue my wreaths on. So I'll need to cut a base to glue these wreaths on. There are 2 types. This one is in soft sea foam and that one is in just jade. I'm also going to die cut the partridge and the double bow, also the love heart. Just jade ink, Sahara sand and soft suede. We'll need some soft sea foam, just jade and petal pink cardstock, whisper white, to stamp the partridge and the label. Soft sea foam strip, which is 7/8 inches by an A4 length. In metric that's 2.2 by the A4 length. For the label, the Just Jade is 2.5 inches by 7/8 inches. So that's 6.4 by 2.2, and the Whisper White label is 1 inch by 2.25 inches. That's 2.5 by 7.8. You need to trim it down afterwards, and that's to go on the front of the tin like that, because this A4 length doesn't quite cover the whole of the tin, so to bridge that gap we have to put a label on the front. I also used the Wrap in Texture embossing folder. This comes as a pair, and I'm using this pattern. It looks like a basket weave, so you don't have any matching to do. You'll find it on page 9 of the August to December 2020 mini, and it's also part of the Heartwarming Hugs suite. The punch I'm using to decorate the label is the Lovely Labels Picker Punch. Elegant faceted dots and a Stamparatus. To start with, we'll do some die cutting from the soft sea foam. I will die cut this smaller wreath and this one with the larger leaf die in Just Jade. Pop that top plate on and then I'll run it through the big shot off camera. With the nested stitched shapes dies, the circle ones, I've put the largest and third largest die stacked within each other so that I can die cut a frame to glue the wreath on, as you can see there. Then with the petal pink cardstock, I'm going to cut stenciled love hearts and bow elements, and I'll do that off camera as well. I also die cut a blank for the partridge out of Whisper White cardstock. So there are all my die cut pieces. Now we're ready to assemble. Bring in my silicone mat because I don't want to get glue all over my work surface, and I'm just going to use some wet adhesive, which is the Tombow, to apply glue on the back of this and pick it up. It's easier to glue it upside down like so. And then from the front you can adjust it so that it sits on the just on the inner rim of this circular frame with your fingers. Zhuzh up the, be gentle with it though, okay? And before you put the other layer of leaves on, I will attach it to the lid of the tin with glue dots. On the reverse, north, south, east, west. So at the 12, 6, 9 and 3 o'clock position, place it over your tin, like so. Then apply adhesive to the leaf here. You don't want to press too hard down on this clear bit. I think it says not glass, it's probably some sort of plastic which has been stretched quite taut over the front of the lid. Then you can see that this has already got a sort of line across it. So if you put your fingernail in that line and just gently tilt up the leaves. Now stamp the partridge. I've already set up my stamparatus, and in Top Tip Tuesday, in an earlier video which is on my Stamp with Elaine Facebook page, I showed you how to do two-tone stamping with the help of the stamparatus. So this is my template, and I just pop a blank into this aperture, and I start off with a lighter colour first and stamp it in crumb cake. Clean my stamp, then ink it up with a darker colour, which is soft suede. And I want to remove the ink on the breast, so I take my chamois and clean that off, insert it back in the hinge and stamp again. Oops. And there I have a perfectly two-tone partridge. I'm going to pop a double stack of dimensionals, because where the clear piece is, there's a dip, so I want that to be clear of the leaves. So I've popped them up as a double height. Grab another glue dot and pop that underneath the partridge. Attach the heart like so, and that will stay and you won't get marks on the back. Now I'm going to just curl the die cut ribbon a little bit, more glue dots on the back, and then place this on top. Another glue dot, pop this on the partridge, the elegant faceted gem to stick on top there. So that's the lid done. Now we're going to tackle the bottom of the tin. So now we need to emboss it, and it's very long, so it won't emboss in one go. I'll have to turn it around and emboss the other side, and that's why I chose this pattern, because it's non-distinctive and you won't see the join. So I'll go and do that off camera and I'll be back. I've embossed it, so we'll run tear and tape along both the top and the bottom. Be careful you don't get it overhanging the sides. And I'll just put a little bit there as well. Now I like to keep my lid on because it gives me a guideline as to where to pop this. And as I go along, I'll remove the tape. Now we can take the lid off, and we need to tackle the gap here. So that's where this comes in. Bring in my label. That's not long enough to hold on to, so we need some post-it notes. So I can stick that on the end so I can hold on to it. So turn that upside down and then punch. Now I'm going to stamp my label, so I've put this little piece of cardstock right in the corner there, and I'll place my wording where I want it to go. Then pick up the stamp, ink it up and stamp. Trim this down to 3/4 inches or less. Pop it back in the punch. Make sure it's even. Punch that out. And do the same for the other side. Reinsert it into the punch. Make sure it's centered and then punch. So we want to put double-sided tape on this as well. We don't want to put it up on dimensionals because it being the side of the tin, it will knock off. So let's just do that and do the same with this. So put it on the side of the tin, like so, and do the same for this one. Before I shut the tin, grab some elegant dots. And then shut the tin so that the bird is on top of the label. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. All the links to the supplies I used are below this video in the show more section. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then do subscribe and share if you like it. Read more about this project over on my blog at stampwithelaine.com. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!